What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 106 of Sons of Ben the Pod. We are live here from the suite at Subaru Park. Exciting times around this team. Exciting times around the Sons of Ben.
Yes.
Exciting times in Adam's life.
Yes.
He's had a bit of an excursion the past couple weeks over in Italy there. So
I'm happy being self-indulgent off the top.
how are you doing, Adam?
I'm tired. Jet lag is real. But I'm actually really excited to be back here. And but you know, Italy was fantastic. I had a lot of fun there. It's harder for me to pontificate about what I did. I need you to ask me questions. Let's do some. Can you be my Katie Couric?
All right, let's see. So you get into Italy, maybe you're a little jet lagged the original initially.
I don't sleep on planes.
Okay.
Let's start with that. I wish I did. If I can sleep on a plane within the first hour of the flight. After that, if I'm woken up for any reason, I can't go back to sleep. It sucks. But anyway, continue.
So you got over there in Italy.
Yes.
What was your first? What's the first thing you did in Italy?
Ate food.
Yeah.
Not because of just the fact that like it's the smartest thing to do, but it's also like it's 8 in the bleeping morning. So like what we did was I flew out of JFK because I don't like myself, and we landed in Rome Fiumicino, which has to be one of the nicest airports like ever. At the crack ass of dawn. It had to be like 6 in the morning. So like nothing is even open. And let me tell you this mall inside of this airport rivals King of Prussia. It's like one of the most impressive pieces of mall real estate with tax-free shopping I've ever seen. And they got like great food. If anyone's ever been to New York, there's a place called Eataly. Like,
if anyone's ever been to New York.
No, here's the thing. Not everyone. Okay, so if anyone's been to literally either Chelsea or Battery Park, there's a place called Eataly. And it is a Italian-based like supermarket / restaurant area / bar that's like 3 stories, and it's just full of Italian eats and all of that. They have one inside the airport that you can go to. You can just get whatever the bleep you want. Obviously, it's in country. Everything is delicious. Fanta tastes like actual oranges over there, which is great. You know, shout out to the EU actually taking chemicals out of their shit and like caring about their citizens for reasons I can't understand. Anyway, long story short, Rome was great. Then we flew down to Palermo. Palermo was great. It was hot the minute you get out there, but you eat a lot of ice cream. You know, the
Neapolitan,
gelatos,
of course.
again. Yeah, of course. Only the finest. You know, you eat a lot of mozzarella and prosciuttos. Like it's ham and cheese. Like the ham and cheese hot pocket is a big thing over there. I like that. It's like it's like the greatest version of a hot pocket, but like that because they don't have the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. So like this is my replacement for that. So it's like a very nice bread, and it's full of ham, prosciutto wrapped around this big block of mozzarella, and it's basically just a hot pocket. But it's like the best hot pocket ever.
Great. So we'll go a little high level here. You're over there, you know, doing some scouting for your wedding, of course, and looking at some wedding venues. So that's good.
I got it all done.
Not stressful, I'm sure.
No, God, it was terrible. Long story short, because I know everyone wants to hear about this. The fiance found her dress. Awesome. She's happy about it. On the third one, which is for if anyone knows my fiance, the weirdest thing. She usually takes like 17 things. She has to like look at 60 places before she chooses anything. So the fact that she's like the third dress, she's like, this one. Just shocked it all.
That's a win.
Yeah, it's a win. I got myself a little tailored suit that I wanted because, as one does, you want a tiny man making you an Italian tailored suit, and I got that. So dreams, check that off. The dream mark.
Beautiful.
I'm getting married in a church 200 years older than America, and then at a castle having a reception. Yeah, it's like a castle on the Mediterranean that overlooks mountains. It's fairy tale-esque, I gotta imagine. And let me tell you, a lot cheaper over there than that would have been in America.
Really?
God, yeah.
You don't say.
No. Well, the catch is everything's a castle. So when everything's a castle, you can't. Yeah.
So did you get into any soccer games over there?
Oh my!
Football,
I got actually, and the worst time to ever go to a soccer match is the day before you're leaving. the country.
You went to one game and it was the day before you left?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, there was only 2 games in Palermo while I was there, and they lost the first one, so I was happy I didn't go to this one. But they won this one 1-0. They were playing Genoa.
Okay.
You know, a team that people actually know.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Look, I'm used to being like Regina. Like, they really don't like the fact that I called it Regina. It's Regina, but I called it Regina.
We'll stick with it.
Shout out to Canada. Okay. Legitimately, they won 1-0. It was a great contest. The stadium holds about 40,000, probably have about 29,000 there, but it was like the 4th most watched game in Italy that day. You know, the people love that team in Palermo, and the fact that they were in Serie D and C, it's just like that really bleeping sucked, because it's just it's not like they're a team that deserves to be there just on fan presence alone. Like, obviously, if you know, skirt the ways of financial fair play and all that stuff, then yeah, you probably deserve some penalties. But legitimately, this is a team that deserves to be in Serie A. I hope they get back to it, you know, not just because I care about it, but just because they're fun. Beautiful. And you know, it was a great atmosphere, and I got some thoughts to, you know, bring back to the Sons of Ben. I got some.
We'll get into them.
We'll get into them. But yeah, eventually we'll get back there. But yeah,
awesome.
Palermo was dope. PSA, if you ever get a chance to go to Sicily, head over to Palermo. Good, fine city, but don't drive. There's a reason why there are so many great Italian F1 drivers, because that's just life.
It's a normal everyday driving.
That's literally how they exist in that country.
Beautiful. Well, while you were over there in Italy, excursioning, if that's a word,
it is now.
We were here in Chester partying.
Were you?
Did you get to watch any games while you were over there? I mean, we've got a few of them.
But
we've got a few of them.
I VPN'd one of them. Okay. But outside of that, no, it really wasn't. I actually was following them live on Twitter. And God bless the Union fan base, because how active they are on Twitter. You can follow a game in real time without actually having to physically watch it. But no.
And that's what the Discord's for. So if you want to follow along with the game, maybe go join the Discord. And,
I do. Actually, I might have to rejoin the Discord again if I ever go back to Europe to simultaneously do mid-season. But yeah, it was really fun to be up at 3 a.m. on a balcony, just like silent duping to myself every time Gaz Daddy wanted to score another goal.
5 straight games he scored. I mean, that obviously we're setting records every week at this point, but that is a record in and of itself. Five straight games with goals for Gazdag. I'll plug that real quick.
So I'll give you a little vulnerability about me. One of my things that I wanted to do growing up, I really wanted to be a sports commentator. You know, I wanted to do play-by-play. You know, I wanted to do the big goal calls and all that fun stuff. So what I would do is, as a practice, I would play games of like FIFA then like do my own commentary to what I was doing in FIFA. Let me tell you this right now. I would do post-game shows too, because I would really try to sell it home. Like, I wanted to be like Stuart Scott after a game and just be like, "Hey, so what happened to Jim Curtin this week?" And it's just like,
just talking to yourself in a room.
This is literally what I would be commentating about my FIFA games, because my FIFA scores would be these scores. It would be I beat Colorado 5-1, because of course I did. I was scoring 47 goals with Ure and everything, and it's just like. It's really, if you look at it on its face, just look at it, what the raw numbers of what it is. This is astronomical.
I mean,
this is weird. This is an anomaly. This is something that, like, you could not have asked for this. You couldn't even have mentally fathomed the idea of the possibilities of what this run has been.
And it was very realistic until about 4 weeks ago. Then it started getting to this astronomical.
Because just barbaric.
A month ago, we recorded a podcast where I said I would be very surprised if we were in the running for supporter shield, because we were 9 points behind LA at some point, and it was like it seemed like the race was over. I mean, we were maybe not 9, but 7 points or so. I mean, it was a large gap, and now LA have lost their last 3 and have not been looking good.
No,
and we have 3 games left in this season, and we're in great form right now. So I mean, yes, it is very much that.
I mean, who would have thought ham-fisting 2 30-plus-year-old gentlemen into your roster that already had good chemistry wouldn't disrupt the flow of the franchise in any capacity? Who knew? Like, Jesus, like that. Honestly, it's like, I don't feel bad for Los Angeles, but like, come on, man. Like, that's the thing about, like, this is the thing about Union fans that I love. And a lot of us are intelligent enough to understand what was going on here. But then there's a big chunk like, oh, you got to sign this guy, you got to sign this guy, you got to do something more interesting. And I'm like, unless you don't trust the team that you have, signing big names, especially in this league, is not going to always be the catch-all that you want. Like, look, those 2 guys, the Italians that they signed for Toronto, for 5 minutes, everyone said Toronto is going to make the push for the playoffs. They're going to be scary when they get there, yada, yada, yada. And then they go lose a game at home 4-3 to a Montreal team after they're up 2-0 in the 6th minute. And it's like, you look at it now and it's just like, complete teams in this league tend to win the day, and teams that have chemistry and that played with each other and play for each other. And look, let's be real about this. If the Union have won 3 of the 9+ games?
No, I'm not even doing that.
No.
I don't even want to do that.
What I mean is if the Union win 3 of the 9+ games that they tied earlier in the season, this team is so far away in the Supporters Shield winning it. But that's like, this is, the Union have been this good the whole time.
Yep.
The results haven't been there, but this team was head and shoulders better than most of MLS this entire season. And it just is now, the fruits of that labor are coming to fruition. And it just, no one's going to look at it that way. Obviously, you're only going to look at the win-loss record, the final point schedule. But if you were on this journey the whole time, the reason why those ties were so frustrating for us was we knew we were better than all of those teams that we tied, and that we gave up points there back and forth. Not because we were just like, man, it was good for us to escape with 1 point against Inter Miami. No, we allowed Inter Miami to steal points from us. Mm-hmm. Man, it was cool to escape with that 1 point against 10-man Red Bull. Nope, stole points.
Yeah.
Stole points. All these moments were stole points from us. Now it is, we make sure that these teams have absolutely no hope at the end of the first half, and then score more goals when they're exhausted at the end of the second half.
Yeah. So real quick, we'll plug the beer of the pod.
Oh, do we do that?
From Spellbound here.
Spellbound.
We got some double IPA in Phase 7 here. Spellbound Brewing. They've been supplying some beer for the tailgates. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you out there have had this for the Marching beer, so that's been great. They're right over there in Mount Holly, so check them out if you're over that direction. So that being said, I mean, since the last time we recorded, we've had 4 results. 6-0 against Colorado, 4-1 against Atlanta, 2-0 at Red Bull, and 5-1 at home against Orlando this past weekend. I mean, so you look at those results, and it's not, you can look at a lot of games and say, 1-0 wins where maybe the team that played the best didn't deserve to win, and that kind of thing, and yada yada yada. And the Union have had many of those games over the past couple of years, but the Union team that's playing now is not only squeaking by to get a win, they are getting commanding victories that you can't even question the fact that they won. Like, you can't even say that they weren't supposed to win these when they're winning by 4, 5, 6 goals. I mean, it's not even in that realm anymore. I mean, and part of this is also the atmosphere in the stadium is just so great. I mean, I brought a couple of new Union fans out this past weekend. I had a couple of friends visiting from Pittsburgh and brought them out to their first soccer game. Yes. And it's so cool being able to bring new people out and just know that the Union are going to just put on a show. I mean, you come to your first soccer game, first professional soccer game that you've ever seen, and it's a 5-1 win, and it's the atmosphere that we have in the River End, and it's just the feeling around the stadium. It's so great. It's to have that in our team, in the Philadelphia Union, it's just like, we are so blessed right now with this team.
When I saw and I came late to this game because I was working with the Phoenix. Shout out to the Phoenix. Hot bird summer. When I saw what they did on Kids Night, and I believe that was the Houston game, and I believe that was a 5-0 was Houston. Was that a 6 or a 5? That was a 6 for Houston. Yeah. Okay. I said to myself, and I actually probably said this on Twitter. I said, they are going to make so many lifelong fans from just tonight. Because if you're a 7, 8-year-old child and you just saw the Union do that, you're hooked.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one of the first hockey games I ever saw was the Flyers won a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was like 3-1. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, it wasn't so much of like what happened on the ice, but like the atmosphere of what that hockey game made me do. It was like, I fell in love with this sport instantaneously because I wanted to be a part of anything that made people do that. Mm-hmm. That this team is changing Philadelphia soccer forever.
Oh, 100%.
Forever.
Oh, 100%.
In this city. And it's like, if this team messes around and wins any type of silverware, whether it's the Shield, whether it's actually MLS Cup, whether it's both, whatever they end up doing, if they can actually punctuate it with some silverware, this team is going to go into the annals of not just Philadelphia soccer, but Philadelphia sports.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
This is one of the most dominating soccer clubs easily this city has ever seen, but possibly in the history of American modern soccer.
I mean, they might go on and break the record for goal differential in MLS.
You're gonna break. So it's like it is the most complete soccer team from the beginning to the end, from every position on the field, where the starting lineup for the Union is not their best form. Their normal starting lineup is still not even their best lineup. Like, you have an individual like Leon Flock, who he's already in the 22 under 22 in MLS, and he's up there. It's not like he just barely scraped it. He's probably a top 10 player in that position at being only the age of 20 years old. And I'm still over here be like, so you going to put in Jack McGlynn real quick? You're going to put in Jack McGlynn, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That child is a grown-ass man. The way that he sees the ball, the way that he possesses the ball, you're watching a young star. And remember, 2 years ago on this very pod, we had one of the academy directors on the pod, and we were talking about, we just sold Aronson, and everyone was just like, so Paxton's the next one, right? Paxton's going to tear it up, right? And he's just like, watch out for Jack McGlynn.
Yeah, I do remember
Watch out for Jack McGlynn. And it's just the prophecy, like Quinn and Paxton are just like, yeah, we get it. Like, really, what are we supposed to do? This man, like, everyone is contributing top down. There's no weak link.
Yeah.
Like, even Mbaizo said, shit, I'm going to give you offense. If you're worried about my defense, I'm going to give you offense. You want offense? I'm going to give you offense. Like,
oh man, I'm the first person here that I love playing devil's advocate. Like, I can't even find something to devil's advocate on this team.
Every phase of it. You have an attack that all three of them are at the top of their game right now. Carranza might be one of the greatest steals you've ever seen. Like, the way that Ernst Tanner just flipped that house.
Miami are not happy.
Not happy. Can't be happy to know that was what they had the whole time, was this freaking juggernaut of a human. And then you get Ure in here, who just needed a little maculation. He just needed to get a little more, just get his lather into MLS, and has now become a demon. And Gazdag has just bolt-faced threw himself into the MVP conversation. He just everyone's like, I don't know if he's good enough. I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if he carries enough of his team. His team is too good roster-wise. And he's just like, punches through the door and says, excuse me, I've scored in 5 straight bleeping games. What do you want to talk about?
What does Gazdag have to do to win MVP?
He's not.
No?
Because Henny Mokhtar is so good. And I'm going to give it to Henny Mokhtar.
Is it just goals? Do you think?
No, it's just, here's the thing. You can't tell me Gazdag is the best player on the Union. And that's the real issue about that.
He scored the most goals, but yeah.
But
talent-wise, yeah.
the Union have the best defense of
Yeah.
possibly a top 5 all-time defense. That's as important as the fact that these guys have been scoring a shit ton of goals is the fact that routinely the largest total of goals they've allowed scored this year was 3. It was when they played Cincinnati. They lost 3-1 in Cincinnati. That was the most goals in a single game that the Union have give up this whole season. How many times have the Union scored more than 3 goals this season?
Very many times.
This is what I'm saying. Like, we need to look at both sides of that coin is, yes, the Union have beat Team 6-0, but the zeros have been impressive. And it's just like, who do you pick? Do you pick both the center backs? Because just coin flip, who's the better center back?
I mean,
can you tell me who the better center back is? Just like discernibly.
No, because they both have talents in their own ways. Glesnes and Elliott.
They complement each other. I felt bad for Stuart Finley. Because Stuart Finley is by no stretch of the imagination a bad center back, but how the hell were you ever going to play him?
And yeah,
How
Kyle
are you
makes a
ever
good
gonna
point on
play?
Twitch. They're going to end up splitting points because Gazdag is not Yeah. It's what you're saying.
Blake is going to get a vote.
Yeah,
Martinez is going to get a vote
Yeah.
because he's easily the best defensive center mid in the game.
Yeah.
Like he just in America, that is the best defensive center mid, and everyone knows it. And that's why they try to get under his skin, because that's the only way they can shut him down is by making him a knucklehead. Outside of that, he's elite. You know, you're literally like Alejandro Bedoya is like 36 years old.
Yeah, and have we heard? Maybe some people on Twitch can answer this for me. Have we heard anything about the Bedoya injury at all? I mean,
I heard he was just walking around afterwards. I mean, it might have been just like a little stinger. Like
it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
Here's the thing. Okay, then bench him for the next game and play Jack McClin.
Okay, we can do that too.
And he also
We can always do that.
right? I was like, okay, let him rest.
Yeah.
I think he's fine. Let him bring him
Rest up for the playoffs.
Rest
Bedoya,
the
we
man.
got this.
This is the craziest thing. Like, he's about to tie his career high in a season in goals at like Tom Brady level age.
Yeah.
This is like he's like LeBron out here trying to put up MVP level. Like this, pick a guy, pick a human. Just pick a human. Is it the left back who's like second in the league in assists right now, who just literally serves dimes for a living? You know,
It's not the left back. It's not the center backs. It's not the goalie. It's not
No.
the right back.
No.
It's not the D mid.
No.
It's not any of the midfielders.
Nope.
It's not any of the forwards.
Nope.
So
Who is it?
maybe our we could go to Union 2 and find
Yep.
somebody there.
No, it's Jesus Bruno. Jesus Bruno is the
No,
MVP.
because he's scoring goals for Union 2 too.
Scoring 10 goals. Jesus Bruno is the most valuable player in MLS because he's pushing the midfield to never play him. He's just like, please play me. And they're just like, but do you see the other games we have?
When Jesus Bruno is your weakest link of this team.
He can't even make the field, and the man's tearing up YouTube right now. And he's like, I'll wait. You're about to sell half of these guys in 2 weeks. I'll wait.
Oh man, it's just fantastic. Last 4 games, scoring is 17-2. So I mean,
And let me say shout out to the following, because I wasn't here for the last couple of weeks. I heard on the highlights, and I heard from the replays and all the stuff that I see, the Sons of Ben, and shout out to KSU. They've all come correct the last couple of matches. It's been really fun hearing you guys be out there. Jump for Philadelphia has been
it's been fantastic. It's been growing, and it's cool because
Yeah.
I see it every week. It kind of gets a little louder. And same thing with the whole sha-la-la-la chant.
Oh, yeah.
I see fans on the other side of the other side of the stadium.
No, people want to be a part of this, and this is something that as a capo myself, this is the dream sequence, because I went over to I was at the Palermo match, and I saw what that was, and I saw what happens when you got 20,000 people all yelling the same thing at the exact same time, and what that can be. And I know we're America and we can only do but so much on that, but that's something for which I'm like, that's duplicatable, especially in this city. And I think we just gotta, we as the Sons of Ben, we have to work harder in cultivating that. And I know that's something that I'm working hard on, is making sure that we have that level of an atmosphere because it's deserved. We deserve to be having that much fun, and we deserve to be giving our team that much of a push. We deserve that.
And not only do we do it at home, but we go to Red Bull and we light that shit up too.
Red Bull. Like I was at my last game, I believe was DC away, and I was at that match, and I said to myself, that was easily the best away atmosphere that I've been in since I started, going. It was just from top to bottom, the section was Union fans, and it was just like, look, Philly's always been a winning type of city, I mean, you want to call it front running, whatever, but it's always been, if you win, we'll show up. We don't care where you put the stadium. We don't care what you do about it. If you put on a good product and a good show and you make us, have fun, we'll show up. And the last couple of away matches have really showed that. Like, I feel bad that the New York City game was so early in the season.
Yeah.
Because if we did that again, the way we would take over Yankee Stadium would be absolutely God forbid it was in like Citi Field or something like that. Let us then first stunt on them for being on an away game at their own home stadium. Yep. But like Philadelphia is getting to be what it should be. It's like when you watch the Eagles, right? They go to any of their stadiums, they're always a presence, right? Because Philadelphians exist everywhere. Like, we spread our wings, we go out all over the country. You can tap that market of Union fans, and you can go to any stadium outside of like Seattle and be like, we're in here. Yeah. We're in, and this is only the beginning. And, I saw Tansy check out a tweet the other day, like the Union could definitely be the Ajax of MLS. I'm like, yes, it could be.
Oh, we've been talking about that for years now.
I've literally been saying that for calendar years. It's just like, yes, and that's, if you make it that sustainable, this is always going to be a fun thing. And they're going to be like, so that 30,000 expansion thing we were thinking about, you want to trigger that one,
And it's not only the fact that they're winning; it's the fact that they're winning, and then following that up by proving it and saying this isn't a fluke. No. We can win more. No. Because you go out and win Supporter Shield a couple of years ago. If you show up the next season and you don't even make playoffs or you don't even make a splash, and it could have just died off after then. But the fact that they followed it up the way that they have, the fact that we're even in the race for Supporter Shield right now is just proving that this team can do it. And it's proving that all those people wrong that said that 2020 was a fluke because of COVID and yada yada yada.
They've been building on this though, and like in that, the funniest thing is, I think Union fans sometimes need the perspective of outside people, because like Union fans are like, man, they've been disrespecting us for years. They don't talk about this, and like fans of other teams are like, what do you mean? I've been talking about y'all for like 5 years. Y'all been good for a while now. Like, you've been doing this. Because, like, authentically, like, the Union have been a top 5 Eastern Conference team since, like, 2018, basically.
Yeah, last 4 years. Yeah.
They've been in that conversation, and now they are a top 3 team.
Top 2?
Well, I mean, now they're top 2.
Now. I mean, they're in form.
But they've been basically a top 3 Eastern Conference team for the last 3 years solid, They were always in the conversation. So it's like, this is not a fluke either. This is a building. This is a building upon a building. But like this is, again, FIFA shit. Yeah. We're doing FIFA shit right now. This is video game numbers.
I mean, and they proved it again in the world rankings this week by what's that website? It's 3 numbers. There it is.
538.
538. Yes. 95th in the world, right behind, I believe, Norwich, maybe. Yes. So, I mean, take that for what it is. But, I mean, they're getting the recognition now, which is really cool to see. I mean, you look at any power rankings right now in MLS, anybody who doesn't have the Union number 1 is probably getting some shit in the comments.
I mean, you can't. But like, you physically could not have the Union not at number 1 because of what they've done in the last 13 games versus literally every other team in MLS. And it's just like LA has been floundering, Montreal wins here, then kind of ties here, New York's in free fall. New York City Football Club is like, I believed they were going to take a step back without Tatsy. I did not know that the entire house of cards would fall apart without Tatsy. because it's just they have talent on that roster, and they have been an absolute free fall.
Oh man. And we're sitting here tonight. I mean, we have 3 games left in the season.
Yeah, what time is it? Have they
we've got
yet?
a couple games to watch tonight to see how the games in hand falls. There's a possibility that we clinch. There's a possibility that if Montreal lose to Chicago tonight, that we clinch Eastern Conference, we clinch CCL. Huge stuff there. And then you look over at LA, Minnesota, and if LA drops a game against Minnesota by some kind of miracle here, not even a miracle, they're on a bad run. They're not in good form. They lost 3 straight.
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
No.
So if they fall in any way there, if they drop any points, we're sitting pretty good with 3 games left. And
don't make me
even if LA wins this game,
yeah,
I love the position we're in. We got them on the tiebreaker on goal differential.
Yeah.
And I mean, 3 games left in the season. Look at the forms of both teams. Look at the Union and look at LA. Which team would you rather take with 3 games left in the season and win the Supporters Shield? And I mean, and that being said, that home game in October, man. I mean, if it comes down to it, I've been talking to some people around the old stadium, and if it comes down to that last game, we are partying here all day. We're starting early. We're putting on. We're getting a projector and we're showing the LA game out. If it comes down to the LA game, we're opening the beer trailer for the LA game. We're having a party in the lot for the LA game as well, because I mean it's going to be. You can't ask for a better ending to any season. It's so exciting. You have 3 games left, and even if they don't win Supporters Shield, you have one of the best informed teams going into the playoffs.
No, I mean, no, here's the thing. I say this right now. If Minnesota can help us out tonight, then you got to win Supporters Shield. Like, you got, like, those 3 games left. You have Atlanta. That's probably your toughest match, is Atlanta on the road. Because then you've got Charlotte on the road, and they've had a really good run this year.
That's true.
They should be commended. Charlotte should really be proud of themselves as an expansion franchise, coming in here and actually making some waves. And in a couple of years, those guys are going to be really good. I appreciate that. Then you got Toronto at home, and they should be cooked by then.
And it's at home.
And it's at home.
You're the best home team in the league.
You at that point, it would be a dream sequence if you've already wrapped it up before Toronto. That's like what you want to.
I mean, but if LA lose tonight, that is a reality.
That is, it's a really strong one, because here's the thing: you do that and you take care of business in Atlanta, that's a 6-point swing.
Yeah.
That's a 6-point swing. You would literally just need to win at Charlotte to win the Shield.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, and again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But,
I know.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. But
it's hard not to.
But
right?
Look at this. It's an interesting moment to say to yourselves that Champions League qualification is not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's surprising to say a Supporter Shield isn't good enough.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It would be great. It would be
awesome.
cool. I would love it.
I love all shiny things. But look, if this team is not at least playing for MLS Cup, it'll be a disappointment.
Yeah.
Because again, they've proven themselves that if you throw 3 to 4 of those ties into actual wins like they should have been, that they are head and shoulders better than most teams in MLS.
And it's the fact that you're playing these games at home. You've pretty much all but wrapped up first place. All your playoff games are most likely going to be at home now.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And if you get the Shield, you have a full ride all the way to MLS Cup at home.
Yeah.
That's what you work for.
So, I mean,
what else the fuck do we have to talk about? I'm just out of curiosity.
We're just here talking about.
We're just like having the funnest old time sitting in the stadium, just shooting the shit about one of the most impressive soccer teams in the history of fucking MLS. That is not a sentence. That is false. Whatever they do from here on out, this is still one of the most impressive seasons in the history of this league.
Yeah.
It's like there was a graphic showing 7-0 victories or 7 goal deficit victories in MLS
Yeah.
all time, and the Union added 2 of those
Well, and
to this season.
look at the 6-goal ones. I mean,
They've added 3 of them.
they've had 4 6-goal wins this season when most teams couldn't even do that in their entire history. We have the most 6-goal wins in any team in any of their history, not just one season, but we've done it in one season.
Look, I get why the Atlanta fans are mad. I get why some of the New York fans are mad. I get why all of these fan bases hate us, because this is fucking atrocious. Like, this is egregious. This is unnecessarily bad for like everyone else in MLS. But like this is a season though that helps your league out, because people are going to take notice of the team that is routinely adding players to Europe, that's routinely adding players to the U.S. national team, that's routinely putting themselves in the spotlight because of these fantastic wins and these high caliber players. Every time Glesnes scores him 40 yards out, they like the Union are good for Major League Soccer in a multitude of ways, and the worst thing ever for Major
I'd be
League
willing to
Soccer.
say that the Philadelphia Union are better for American soccer than LAFC right now.
No, they are, because you're growing it from within.
Yeah.
You're contributing directly to America. Gareth Bale's not helping America. You know?
Well-
like Chiellini is like Chicharito is not, well, I mean, Mexico actually is a big influence in America, but like a lot of these other guys are not necessarily helping American soccer. Christian Benteke is not helping American soccer get better. Wayne Rooney's not doing that. Quinn Sullivan is.
Yeah.
Paxton Aronson is. Jim Curtin is. You know, these guys are making contributions to American soccer whilst doing all of this.
Montreal has scored.
All right. Well, I mean, it's Chicago.
okay.
All right,
I'm
well,
not
that's
worried
over, because Chicago doesn't score goals. Like, Chicago is allergic to scoring goals, so that's it. All right, I guess we have to wait another day. But, like, legitimately, it's like, yeah, look, you're dealing with one of the more impressive forms in the history of MLS, and I think we should cherish it no matter what happens. But we should also be like, expectations are high now. They should be high.
I don't even mind just like fascinating over this team and just listen, I get that this is not most likely not sustainable.
Okay.
I get it.
Here's the thing.
I get it.
Do you get it? Is it not sustainable? What have the Union shown you to tell you it's not sustainable
The
yet?
only thing it comes down to is the
What?
fate of Jim Curtin and the fate of Ernst Tanner.
So Jim Curtin is in Europe in 2 years. Ernst Tanner is in Europe in a year and a half.
And maybe Jim Curtin is cultivated enough that he has an assistant coach that's ready to take over.
He's going to
in
like
his spot
Bournemouth too. Like,
and,
he's going
you
directly
know,
to the Premier
I don't
League.
know. But that's your only worry right now. And fuck
You're
that.
gonna
Fuck
lose,
that.
You're
I'm not
gonna
even
lose
worried
everybody.
about that right now. I don't even care.
No, next season you're going to lose everybody. But the problem is you have so many people already in waiting that are like, are good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even like, yes, you're going to lose a big thing from Kai Wagner, but Matt Real is really good at soccer, so I'm okay with that. Like, I feel all of these things are going to be okay. You're going to take a step back. You're going to recon. You're going to retool. But like, the Union are a wet dream for
So I'd like to hear your response to this take.
What is it?
The team. This is from Eric. Shout out to Eric. He's
Shout out to Eric.
on the board for the Sons of Men. This team is an anomaly. We have multi-million-dollar talent for pennies.
Yes. It's not an anomaly.
But does that make it an anomaly?
No.
Because that's just Ernst Tanner
That's just that like
doing
that's
Ernst Tanner
Moneyball.
things. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He keeps doing it.
Yeah.
He keeps replacing these guys with other dudes doing it. It's not like he's just like, I found a random dude. Like, no, Ure is not a random dude. Carranza is a guy who came in as a DP, and because Miami doesn't know how to make money work properly, he just plucked him off of that. But that's not anomalies. That's smart business.
Yeah.
And he just proved smart business. There's a reason why we don't draft anymore. Ernst Tanner is going to break Major League Soccer. He's going to break the league. And you know what? We're eventually going to need promotion and relegation in this league. Because you know why? We cannot allow DC United and these teams to continue to be that shit and not do anything about it. Problem is, the owners are never going to agree to it. But like, and real quick, everyone thinks that MLS fans are against promotion and relegation. 90% of us are for promotion and relegation.
It's not us.
It's not us.
It's not us.
It's not. And the reason why it's not us, more importantly, is until about 5-6 years ago, I wasn't even sure America could handle it. But now, like, I see all of these little lower division teams building their stadiums, like Louisville and Indy 11 and all that, and Phoenix Rising. Like, nope, we're fine. We could definitely start promotion and relegation. We can make this happen. The owners will never agree to it because these franchises are worth so much money now. They weren't a couple of years ago, and now they are. And if every other fucking league in the world could do closed relegation so all the money could be kept by the owners, they would do it in a heartbeat. That's the irony of all of it. But you need it only because DC United can't get away with this. You know, you cannot continue to allow San Jose to get away with this. You know, you just can't. You put a team in San Francisco if you're going to let the Bay Area market of San Jose die. Because it's stupid. Because you need, what's happening in New York is a tragedy. To be real with you, what's happening in New York is a tragedy. Because there's no way that a stadium that gorgeous in Harrison, New Jersey should be that empty. And there's no way that a team that's owned by Citigroup and the New York Yankees is nomadically going to Hartford for fucking playoff games. That is the biggest folly of this league. And they're going to continue to let that happen as long as the money keeps coming in and propping up the franchises.
Yeah. And just to go back to it real quick, LAFC, their last 3 games of the year, Houston, Portland, Nashville.
Yeah, so Houston's terrible, so they're probably going to win that game. Is it at Portland or is it in Banc of California?
Oh man, hang on.
I know. I'm asking the big questions.
Too many questions.
If it's in Portland, that's a different game, because Portland might be fighting for playoffs.
In Portland.
Okay, that's possibly an L. In Nashville,
at home against Nashville.
Nashville's got the MVP.
Yeah,
and Nashville will still might be fighting for position.
But there's a chance of them losing points there.
No, it's a much harder schedule in principle than what the Union are trying to accomplish for their last 3 games. So we shall see. It all starts tonight. If Minnesota can do us a big favor tonight, then there's a realistic look at the Supporters Shield for the Union, and it's deserved. It's deserved. This team is like they've lost 4 times all year. Like that's a real. It's September. It is September 13th. The season started in fucking March?
February. Right? The last week of February.
It started the last week of February. It is September 13th. The Union have lost 4 times. Yeah. That's deserving of a Supporters Shield. Yep.
All right, so one last thing we'll talk about. We'll wrap it up then.
The Fusion Minute. No, that's
we'll
fine.
get there.
They're actually kind of terrible. You don't have to do that.
How much weight do you put into the fact that the whole Supporters Shield MLS Cup thing and do you care?
What?
About, Supporters Shield winners historically not being the ones to win MLS Cup?
No, trophies are trophies. No.
Would you rather win MLS Cup or Supporters Shield?
No, I'd rather win MLS Cup.
Okay.
But if I win Supporters Shield, I ain't mad.
Are you mad if they win Supporters Shield and lose in the Eastern Conference Finals?
To who? Like a Nashville or something like.
Jeez, I don't even know who. Maybe Nashville.
Yes. Anything short of MLS Cup is unacceptable. That's real, but also, the Supporters Shield definitely softens the blow of that. Yeah. Because then I also believe that this team can go out and win Champions League. Because if Seattle can do that fucking shit.
Yeah,
team.
I don't think that we can't do it.
Yeah.
I just am very superstitious. And
this team breaks every fucking previous mold anyway.
That's true. They're breaking records.
If you don't believe in this team, I don't know what to tell you. They've literally done everything humanly possible to prove to you they are superior. They've put together a phenomenal offense and a phenomenal defense, a phenomenal coaching, and phenomenal system. Like, literally nothing is not being done here at a world-class level at this exact moment.
That's true.
So why not?
Why not?
What conceivable reason? Can you tell me LA is better than the Union?
No. Not right now.
Who is better than the Philadelphia Union?
And the fact that the Union always play LA well obviously helps as well.
This is what
especially even if it happens to come down to in LA, we've proved that we can play in LA.
This is what I'm saying. Like, the Union would have to fall on their face to lose in the playoffs. It's not like anyone's going to beat the Union. They're going to have to fall on their face. Oh, okay, cool.
Montreal's up 2-0.
That's
Looks like
fine.
we're not securing Champions League tonight, but it will happen.
Yeah, it will happen. But like, God, Chicago's so bad. They're so bad. Like, they're really not good at soccer. And like, again, this is why we invented. This is why we need promotion and relegation, because Chicago exists.
Oh man.
Wrap up this podcast. 'cause
Yeah,
people
let's
are tired
wrap
of
it up
listening to
here. I
us.
think we've talked through everything. Adam,
We've jerked off this team for like 45 straight minutes. I think we're good now. We can leave now.
straight up 45
Just
minutes
a
jerk session.
just a
Great.
straight jerk.
Great.
Just
great.
palpable.
This is what you come here to listen to. I'm
No,
sure.
it was, but like
I'm
everyone
sure.
wanted to hear a jerk, but it was a jerk.
No,
That's what we did. Yeah.
But can you do anything else with this team right now?
No, you logistically can't have a devil's advocate show with them right now. You can only just jerk them off at the highest level. So we did.
You'll love to hear it. You'll love to hear it.
This is why we have so many great quality sponsors, because of this high level content that I present to you.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, this has been episode 106.
106
of Sons of Ben the Pod. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
Will we?
And if you're still listening, go check out twitch.tv/Sons of Ben, because that's a thing.
Will these things be? Can you watch these back on Twitch?
Not yet.
You can.
Oh, can
so you
you?
can watch replays of this.
I think we need some more viewers for that. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well,
we should do that.
I can record it.
We
Well,
should record
anyway,
these.
we'll-
People
we'll-
would want to
talk.
watch this. I feel. No?
We'll talk about it.
Maybe.
We'll talk. I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Anyway, it's been a pod.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week.
Forza Polare.